Losing weight is hard and it's easy to get discouraged, but my next guest is proof that anything is possible. Ross, come on up here. Oh, man. God, dog. Ross, you lost nearly 200 pounds, man. What inspired you to lose weight?
Hi, I'm Dr. Ross Gardner, and I'll tell you exactly what I told Steve that night. I'll also tell you about a little-known weight loss hack that melted my belly fat like butter, and even helped me overcome binge eating for the first time in my life. But right now, you're probably wondering why I was on the Steve Harvey Show in the first place. Well, the answer to that is I had just lost 196 pounds. Now, I know losing 196 pounds is great and all, but I'm not here to toot my own horn. So enough about me, I want to know more about you. How's your weight loss journey coming along? Since you're on this page, I'm guessing you're probably still carrying around those love handles, aren't you? And you're sick of looking at them. That means you're sick of looking at yourself, and that's a tragedy. You feel like a failure, and maybe you are one, but it doesn't have to be that way. Because now you've got me on your side of the ring. But before we get in any further, let's be straight. You think this is another one of those videos, and I get it, it looks like it. This isn't the first time you've been promised a new method of weight loss, but I assure you it will be the last. Because once you watch this time-sensitive video all the way till the end, you will never again wonder why the fad diets aren't working and why even if they do work, you can't stick to them. You're also going to learn how diets that eliminate carbs from your life are merely another form of torture. And instead, you'll see why the discovery of a bizarre slimming sugar makes it possible to eat carbs and still lose weight. Listen, I know what you're thinking, but just so you know, this slimming sugar has nothing to do with fake sweeteners like stevia, aspartame, and so on. I hate that stuff. So no, slimming sugar is not a sweetener. It's in a class of its own. If anything, it's closer to what you get in bread. Again, weird, I know, but I'll explain everything in a minute. For now, just know I don't blame you for thinking that slimming sugar might sound too good to be true. After all, you've been lied to for years by the $80 billion weight loss industry. They've spent millions tricking you into buying their keto products or Atkins programs, all while pushing the lie that carbs are evil. But that's ridiculous. Carbs aren't evil. It's just food. What's more, you don't have to give up all your favorites like cakes, pizza, and pasta to lose weight. And just adding 1 teaspoon of this slimming sugar to your daily routine is the key to making that a reality, while also losing weight with maximum efficiency. So how's that possible? Well, we can thank a group of 11 Nobel Prize winners for that. They obsessed over this slimming sugar for 20 years. And today, a new breakthrough from a research institute in France has cracked the code. Their research now reveals how slimming sugar could be the answer to effective weight loss. I'll show you why in a second. Oh, and one more thing. If you're like me and you struggle with emotional eating, I mean the kind where you promise yourself to have just one cookie but end up binge eating the entire bag, well, I'll show you how this slimming sugar can eliminate these self-destructive eating habits. I've overcome my own binge eating problems, which made me weigh up to 396 pounds. And today, this slimming sugar is the one and only thing I recommend. I'll also show you the scientific reason why, if you're a woman over 35, this bizarre slimming sugar may be your only hope for winning the battle against the bulge. Listen, I know what it's like to have a love-hate relationship with food. For people like us, food is comfort. However, it's also a curse that sabotages us. But you haven't given up. You still dream of your triumphant day, where you confidently slip into that beautiful dress, those skinny jeans, or even a sexy swimsuit at the beach. And despite the setbacks, you still have hope. That takes a lot of heart. So in my books, that makes you a hero. And that's why I'm here. I truly want you to get the slender body of your dreams. And no matter how hopeless weight loss seemed in the past, you can let that feeling of hopelessness go. It's okay now. You've got me on your side of the ring. I'll take you under my wing and show you how to get emotional eating out of your life. You'll never again feel like you're being controlled by food. Instead, you're going to be the one in charge. You're the boss, and you choose the foods you want to enjoy. No more guilt, shame, or unwanted weight gain. And then, you'll take a step forward and not only force your body to burn that stubborn fat that seems like it's stuck to you like glue, but you'll never have to watch one of these videos or read one of those books again. Every new diet will gloss over your eyes. Just ships passing in the night, and you'll never again be fooled by them. Now that's something to celebrate. And that's one hell of a video, so don't miss a second. But before I get too carried away, let me introduce myself properly. I'm Dr. Ross Gardner, and I wasn't always a doctor or a diet expert. You see, before I was on the Steve Harvey Show for losing 196 pounds, and before I was featured in publications like the New York Post, Men's Health, Metro Magazine, and so on, or before I dedicated my life to medical research, helping folks like you get healthy at my wellness clinic in Vero Beach, Florida, I was a regular person. No degrees, no clinic, no media appearances. Just regular old Ross. What's more, I wasn't the lean, healthy person you're seeing right now. No, I used to weigh a staggering 396 pounds. Now, that's an embarrassing photo. And yeah, it was bad. But if a regular person like me can lose 196 pounds, I know you can attain the body of your dreams too. No matter your age, and no matter what your number is. 20, 40, 70 pounds or more, I'm here to show you how to shed all those unwanted pounds. Oh, and if you thought my photo looked embarrassing, let me warn you right now. I'm about to tell you something even more humiliating about me. Mind you, it's not because I'm a masochist or anything like that. No, it's because hearing my story is the only way you'll understand why Slimming Sugar will help you shed the stubborn fat and triumph over emotional eating. So here goes. It all started with my extra wide butt and these 2 flight tickets. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, I wasn't always a doctor. No, before I made my transformation, I used to be a manager of a restaurant. Back in those days, my daily routine was simple. I'd work from early morning until late, and I'd come home, plop on the couch, and stuff myself until 2 a.m. in the morning. Pizza, burgers, ice cream, you name it, I ate it. And to top it all off, I'd wash that junk down with a bottle of Jack and a pack of cigs. I was eating 15,000 calories a day. Yeah, I know, that's about what a family of 7 would eat. Like I said, it was bad. And though I didn't know it back then, I didn't eat to live. I ate to fill an emotional hole inside me. Maybe you can relate. If so, stick with me because I'm here for you. I'll show you why binge eating has nothing to do with willpower. No, it's about a weird brain chemical that forces you to overeat when you're stressed. And here's the good news. Even if this chemical is triggering binge eating, the Slimming Sugar I told you about earlier switches off this reaction in your brain, which then lets you shed the pounds you've been struggling against for so long. But more on this in a moment. Where was I again? Oh, right. So, after a few years of self-destructive eating, I weighed a whopping 396 pounds. As you can imagine, my body hurt everywhere. People would stare at me wherever I went. In an attempt to hide my rolls of flesh, I always wore quadruple XL-sized shirts. I avoided mirrors. No belts or jeans either because they'd pinch into my waist when I sat down. And maybe you might know what this feels like, but I hated taking photos, especially with other people, because it made it painfully obvious how big I was compared to them. To put it bluntly, I was ashamed of my own body, and I buried this shame deep inside me so I wouldn't have to deal with it. Then, at the peak of my weight, as I was nearing 400 pounds, something happened. One day my boss tells me we're going on a company trip. It was for team building. All expenses paid. Awesome. That's a paid vacation, right? So a few days later, I'm excited to leave and I packed my bags. It's only once I got to the airport, I experienced the most humiliating moment of my life. I went to get my ticket from the stewardess, but she took one look at me and said, "Sir, you'll need to purchase 2 tickets." At first, I didn't understand. Why was she charging me for 2 flight tickets? After a few seconds of confusion, the truth hit me like a 10-ton hammer. I was too big to fit into the standard flight seats. See, my waist measured roughly 70 inches at the time, which meant my butt needed 2 seats. And the instant I realized what the stewardess meant, I suddenly began to feel the hot stares from my coworkers. My cheeks flushed red. I was sweating bullets, and I was desperate to get out of there, just so people would stop staring at me. That's why I agreed and paid the extra ticket with my own money, and I thought that would be the end of that. Sadly, it gets worse, because the plane trip was even more humiliating. Everyone on that flight noticed I was taking up 2 seats. The whole time I could feel the looks from other passengers thinking, that person's let themselves go. I swear I even heard someone snickering. And after what felt like a million years, the flight from hell finally ended. Later that night, I arrived at the hotel in Miami, and the first thing I did was throw my bags into a corner, then locked myself in the hotel bathroom. At that moment, for the first time in years, I took a long, hard look at myself in the mirror. This is who I saw staring back at me. I'll be straight with you. I couldn't stand the sight of myself in the mirror. Now, I'm sure you've heard the term, "my life flashed before my eyes," right? Well, something similar happened to me in that hotel bathroom. The flight from hell probably triggered it, and in that moment, several scenes flashed before my eyes. I remembered my family begging me to lose weight. They were worried for my health, and sure, I'd made a few weight loss attempts in the past, but nothing worked long term. I'd be trying some new weight loss program, diet, powder, whatever was hot, and a few weeks later I'd be back to my old habits. Truth be told, I was deeply unhappy, and I was self-sabotaging any attempts to lose weight. Food was both comfort and a way of punishing myself. You know what I mean? If so, I'm glad you're here, because you're going to get binge eating under control, like I did. And as these thoughts flashed by, something inside me broke, and every emotion I'd been holding back burst out like a dam. Tears streamed down my cheeks as I realized eating and drinking myself into an early grave was the most selfish thing I could have done. People depended on me. I was supposed to be there for them. Not to mention, I was lonely and wanted to find a loving partner. But at 396 pounds, I was painfully aware how unattractive I was. And most of all, I was sick of having to buy extra large clothes. I was sick of being the fat person in every photo. And I was sick of the nagging roles that refused to leave my body. I don't know what happened, but something in me snapped in that Miami hotel bathroom. Maybe the humiliating plane trip was the straw that broke the camel's back. And I knew 3 things would never be the same again. 1, I'm never flying Delta Airlines. They have really small seats. 2, I vowed to figure out and fix the root cause of why I relied on food for emotional comfort. And 3, I swore I'd drop the weight or die trying. And this turning point led me to the breakthrough that helped me lose 196 pounds. It didn't happen right away, of course. At first, I didn't know how I was going to shed the pounds. But one thing was obvious. Unless I fixed my emotional eating first, I'd get nowhere. So for the next few months, I dug into everything I could find on what caused binge eating. As I searched and searched, the question that burned in my mind was, why do some people, like myself, binge eat to cope with emotional stress, while others didn't? Was it truly about willpower? My gut feeling told me it wasn't, because whenever I'd binge eat, it felt like there was this weird gremlin inside of me, overpowering whatever rational mind I had. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. It was never one cookie, it was the whole damn bag, and then sugary soda to wash it down afterwards. It felt like an uncontrollable physical urge to eat, and it wasn't about willpower. No, it felt like something was biologically compelling me to binge. Worst of all, this happened even if I wasn't hungry, and it's not a rational thing. You know it, I know it, and you might be feeling helpless about it like I had. Well, I promise you, that'll come to an end when you start adding this slimming sugar to your diet. Yes, the weird sugar I showed you earlier. Hold this image in your mind. Everything will make sense soon. But first, let me tell you how I discovered the true root cause of emotional eating. Okay, so during my search for answers, I spent several weeks getting my hands on every scientific paper I could find. My focus was on emotional eating and how that tied to weight gain. Sifting through the dense scientific lingo was hard, but luckily my background in science at university came in handy. And through my digging, I stumbled across an obscure research paper that changed everything. I say it's obscure as it was so cutting edge, it hadn't reached mainstream media yet, so you'll never hear about it in a magazine or on TV. Anyway, this study was published by a Harvard researcher named Dr. Olivia Farr, and what she discovered was shocking. See, they found there's a pesky chemical in your brain called neuropeptide Y, or NPY for short, and it lives here, in the middle part of your brain. And now scientists believe NPY is the master controller of binge eating. You see, NPY sends one of 2 commands to your brain: eat or don't eat. Simple, isn't it? Sadly, your reaction to this command is outside of your control. If NPY tells you to eat, you're going to be compelled to eat. If NPY says you've had enough, you'll be compelled to put the fork down. It's kind of like how you can't control your reaction to body temperature. When you're hot, you'll sweat. When you're cold, you'll shiver. NPY is similar to that. And now, scientists from prestigious institutions like Harvard agree, the more NPY you have, the more you'll binge, which then causes unwanted weight gain. On the flip side, the less NPY you have, weight loss becomes more efficient. Case in point, Harvard professor Dr. Olivia Farr and her colleagues studied NPY closely and discovered, quote, evidence abounds that the amygdala is involved in emotional eating. To clarify, the amygdala is the part of your brain where NPY lives, that middle part of your brain I showed you earlier. And to add to that, in another experiment run by scientists from the University of New South Wales, they said, quote, chronic stress and NPY neurons in the central amygdala result in exaggerated weight gain because of increased feeding and decreased energy expenditure. In short, these scientists are saying that the NPY is responsible for emotional eating and appetite, and eventually weight gain. You know what's worse? NPY stimulates your brain to crave carbs. Not cravings for healthy carbs like tomatoes or carrots. Nope, you'll crave donuts, pizzas, cake, and so on. All those lovely, delicious foods that are impossible to say no to. To hammer this point home, in Harvard University's health letter, their editors said NPY, quote, increases appetite, especially for carbohydrate-rich food, and that certain types of stress increase NPY levels. In addition to this, high levels of NPY even promotes belly fat. In the same issue, these Harvard scientists said, quote, investigators from Georgetown University showed that NPY stimulates the growth of abdominal fat cells. This paints a clear picture. Your emotional eating and weight gain all stem from high levels of NPY, meaning we can boil this down to high NPY levels cause weight gain and binge eating. Low NPY levels make you lose weight with maximum efficiency. Keep that in mind, but I'll repeat it again because it's important. High NPY, bad. Low NPY, good. So at this point, you're probably wondering, what causes high levels of NPY? Well, there are 4 main factors. The first one we've already established. If you feel yourself drawn to food when you're stressed or emotional, that's a major sign your NPY levels are high. In addition to this, there are a few more. The second big factor is your body weight. Surprisingly, scientists have discovered that the more weight you carry, the higher your NPY levels are. In one specific paper, Polish scientists compared NPY levels between slim and overweight women, and they discovered, quote, the highest plasma NPY concentrations were observed in overweight women. I know, talk about unlucky, right? The weirdest part is that NPY also causes night cravings. A paper published in the prestigious Royal Society Scientific Journal stated, quote, NPY content peaks 1 hour before dark onset, and the beginning of the dark period is characterized by a greater intake of carbohydrates. In short, that means if you struggle with carb-heavy foods at night, NPY is responsible for that too. Lastly, if you've tried a restrictive diet, that raises NPY levels too. Japanese scientists from the Nagasaki University School of Medicine said, quote, fasting or caloric restriction stimulates hypothalamic NPY expression, thereby increasing appetite. So there you have it. Higher body weight, night cravings, emotional eating, and restrictive dieting are all linked to higher NPY. Next, the big thing we need to ask is, do you have high levels of NPY? Well, we can confirm this together right now with this 4-point questionnaire. Oh, and take note of your answers, we'll need them. Question 1. Do you get cravings for sugary or fatty foods when you feel emotionally stressed? Question 2. Are you currently overweight by more than 15 pounds? Question 3. Have you tried calorie-restricted diets in the past? Question 4. Do your cravings get worse at night? Take a few seconds to take note of your answers. How many yeses did you score? Back when I was 396 pounds, I scored a perfect 4 out of 4. How about you? If you said yes to one or none of these questions, that's great news and you can leave this video right now. However, if you said yes to 2 or more of these questions, that means your NPY levels are already high. And to bring this full circle, we've now established you currently have high levels of NPY. It commands you to eat all the time. Remember, high NPY, bad. Low NPY, good. The results speak for themselves. And it wasn't just reducing NPY and helping them combat emotional eating. It was also making these women shed pounds without changing their diet or exercise, shrinking their waistlines, flattening their bellies, and giving them that coveted thigh gap. All in all, the clinical results were so strong, some part of me knew this was my calling. A noble mission to dedicate my life to. And I'd gotten so obsessed with this, I went on to leave my old job to focus on this mission. And let me tell you, I've never seen anything come close to what Slimming Sugar does for weight loss. But I knew I had to confirm its effects with my own eyes. Unfortunately, it wasn't easy to get my hands on a supply of this Slimming Sugar. The French Research Institute who had developed it had processed it into a pure concentrate, then encapsulated in an easy-to-swallow pill. In addition to this, they'd patented it because they themselves had spent a small fortune to prove their Slimming Sugar worked in clinical studies. And the problem was, they had no interest in selling it directly to the public, as it was more for clinical usage. But after telling them about my story and my background, I finally managed to get a few beta test bottles of Slimming Sugar. You see, I had plans to run a few experiments of my own, and I'd be the first guinea pig. A few weeks later, my package arrived, and I started taking Slimming Sugar daily. To my surprise, I began to feel an immediate change within a few days. I was still enjoying food, but I didn't feel controlled by it. When I had my fill, it was easy to put down the fork. And most surprising of all, when I was stressed, I was shocked to discover I didn't default to binge eating. My cravings for carbs also significantly reduced, especially at night. Of course, I didn't have to give up carbs completely. No, it was the opposite. I still ate my favorite carby foods like pizzas, cakes, and ice cream. I just didn't go overboard with it. Encouraged by my own success, I started recommending Slimming Sugar to all my friends, and eventually to patients at my clinic. And just like it did for me, Slimming Sugar was having a profound effect on their relationship with food too. It reduced their cravings, and as a result, it flattened their bellies and shrunk their waistlines. There was just one problem. Because it was working so well, it wasn't long before these folks came back asking for more. Except I didn't have any bottles left for them. There was only one place I could get more of this Slimming Sugar. Because remember, it was a patented formulation created by the French Research Institute. So I went back to them to see if I could get a larger batch. Let me tell you, it wasn't easy putting it all together. But after months of preparation and spending a small fortune on figuring out the logistics of it all, I finally had a working solution. And today, I'm proud to announce the highly absorbable pure concentrate of Slimming Sugar that I've dubbed Appaway. As you might have guessed, Appleway is the only NPY reducer that contains a pure concentrate of slimming sugar. You can't get this potent form of slimming sugar anywhere else because it's patented and produced only by the French Research Institute I mentioned earlier. And when you take Appleway daily, it lowers your NPY levels, which then helps you triumph over emotional eating. It's also clinically proven to reduce appetite by up to 800 calories. And best of all, it works no matter how much weight you've got to lose, no matter your age, and no matter what your metabolism might be like right now. You know what's even better? Clinical studies show that effects start in just 7 days. And just to be clear, by using Appleway to lower NPY, you're not forcing yourself to avoid eating. No, food can still be your best friend. But what Appleway does do is, it lowers NPY levels, putting you back in control. And as I showed you in the studies earlier, this shrinks your waistline and flattens your belly. And when high levels of NPY are no longer making you crave food 24/7, you'll start seeing the pounds slide right off. But let me be straight here. While Appleway is the closest thing you'll get to completely efficient weight loss, this isn't a magic pill that's going to burn 10 pounds overnight. I say that because it's the truth. Look, if there's one thing I've learned by shedding 196 pounds, it's that there's no such thing as a magic fat-burning pill. Anyone who says otherwise is a charlatan. And they're only saying that to sell you their diet pills. They're slimy greasebags who want to take advantage of your dreams for a slender, more confident you. Deep down, you know this already. Heck, you might have even tried some already and seen how useless these magic fat-burning pills are. You probably also know there's no such thing as a magic diet either. And that's because the truth is, the only way to truly lose weight is to simply take in less calories than your body uses. When you successfully do this, you biologically can't stop your weight from dropping. That's why, as powerful as Appleway is for melting stubborn fat, I still believe everyone should follow a balanced diet with some light exercise. Beyond weight loss, that's good advice for anyone to follow. And while I will say Appleway is not a magic fat loss pill, it may be the closest thing we'll ever get to it, because it's clinically proven to help you lose weight by reducing NPY, letting you eat 800 less calories and ultimately giving you control over your binge eating. And I'm sure you'd agree, shedding unwanted fat would be a piece of cake with hunger and cravings under your control. Just imagine it. What's the first thing you do once you've obtained the body of your dreams? Slip into that gorgeous dress you've been eyeing? Perhaps take a trip to the beach and wear that sexy swimsuit with confidence? And on that note, maybe take a beach photo with your friends and post it proudly on social media. Whatever your thing might be, that future is yours with Appleway. You deserve it. Now, of course, to turn that into reality, that means you need to get Appleway and the slimming sugar it contains first. I'll show you how you can do that in a second, as well as why you won't risk a penny to get your own supply. But first, I gotta give you a fair warning. Ever since I started sharing Appleway at my clinic and online, many folks have been getting multiple bottles for themselves and their loved ones. They saw how Appleway gives outsized results the longer you use it, and so they wisely started ordering multiple bottles, and as a result, it hit me with demand I wasn't prepared for. Combined with the fact that the slimming sugar inside Appleway is patented and only made by one manufacturer, it means this rare and potent ingredient can take weeks to produce a new batch. Add in all the other logistics, and you're looking at 3 months for each restock. And as you can guess, when explosive demand meets limited supply, it means we're constantly running low on bottles. And since this page is the only place you can get Appleway, you don't want to put this decision off, or you could miss out completely. But once you do have your own supply of Appleway, you'll notice the fat-burning effects immediately. Remember, clinical studies have shown that Appleway starts working within 7 days, which is extremely quick for a safe, natural ingredient like this. But this study also showed that the best results come when you take it for longer. And according to this clinical study, 8 weeks is the recommended time frame, which means you should take Appleway for at least 60 days to get the best results. But realistically, you want to make sure your NPY levels stay low permanently, which is why it makes sense to take Appleway day after day and month after month. And this is also why I recommend you keep taking Appleway long after you've hit your goal weight. That way, we can be 100% sure your NPY levels stay low for good, which will then let you keep the weight off for years to come. And once you start taking Appleway as part of your daily routine, you'll triumph over emotional eating. You'll be in control of what foods you enjoy, and you won't be worrying about your waistline. And you'll finally achieve that slender, sexy body you've always dreamed of, all while continuing to enjoy your favorite foods without ever worrying about emotional eating again. On that note, let me ask you, what would a future like that be worth to you? $1,000? $10,000? $50,000? I know, it's hard to put a price tag on it, but I did it to illustrate a point, because personally, I save roughly $300 a month on food I no longer binge on, and over the year, that saves me around $3,600 in total. That's enough for a nice weekend getaway for you and your loved ones. That's the power that Appleway gives you once it's got your emotional eating and weight under control. And I knew weight loss results like this would be invaluable to many folks. So when the financial team recommended we price Appaway at $249 per bottle, I didn't flinch. The powerful, patented slimming sugar inside Appaway was without a doubt worth it. But this wasn't about profit. It's about changing lives. And I know at $249, it would put Appaway out of reach for many folks. So I pushed back against this price. And I can be a pretty persuasive guy when I put my mind to it. Luckily, they saw things my way. That's why you're not going to pay $249 for Appaway. You won't even pay $79.95, which was the original retail price. No, you're going to get Appaway for a lot less than that. But I didn't stop there. Because so many folks were ordering multiple bottles for themselves and their loved ones, I've decided to offer an even steeper discount when you decide to order in bulk today. Because getting multiple bottles means you're serious about this. It shows me you never want to run out of Appaway, and I'd like to reward those who put in their best effort. That's why when you order the 3-bottle package, you'll get a steeper discount. Plus, I'll pay for priority shipping too, so you get an extra $12.95 in value. And if you're truly dead set on getting the best results possible, you can choose the 6-bottle package, which lowers your per-bottle price even further. When you're ready to see these updated multi-bottle discounts, scroll down below this video now and you'll see the 3 packages. The 3-bottle package will give you a moderate discount, and the 6-bottle package gets you the biggest savings of them all. Plus, with the 6-bottle option, I'll give you free shipping. And I'll even throw in my best-selling weight loss book, The Time Factor Fat Loss Guide. To give you a sneak peek, let me explain what this guide really is. The Time Factor Fat Loss Guide is a powerful, step-by-step blueprint for rapid weight loss. If you follow this guide, your body will be scientifically forced to lose weight, and it's the exact process I use to accelerate my fat-burning results too. Now, I used to sell the Time Factor Fat Loss Guide for $97, but when you order the 6-bottle package today, I'll give you this guide 100% free. But let me be super clear here, it is not a requirement for you to get this guide. Appaway by itself is more than potent enough. But there's a reason why I decided to give you this fat loss guide as a bonus. Because if you're considering the 6-bottle option, I know you're 100% committed to getting some serious results, and I want to help you get there even more efficiently. The step-by-step blueprint I share inside the Time Factor Fat Loss Guide does exactly that. So whether your number is 20, 40, or 70 pounds, the Time Factor Fat Loss Guide is your bullet train ticket to maximizing efficient weight loss. Of course, this does mean you'll have to read the guide and implement the tips inside it. For example, you'll discover weight loss secrets like how a professor from Kansas State University shed 27 pounds of unwanted weight in 2 months, eating Oreos, Doritos, and Twinkies. He did it just to prove this scientific weight loss principle works. And when you start using this method too, your body is biologically forced to melt the stubborn fat away. See how on page 10. Plus, you'll see why you should start eating this special weight loss-inducing food ASAP. And when you do, you'll find yourself eating up to 441 fewer calories per day. Find out what this special fat-melting food is on page 14. Last but not least, you'll discover the #1 fat loss mistake most people make 3 hours before bedtime. Making this mistake prevents your body from creating a special fat-burning hormone that works while you sleep. Do it right, and you could literally sleep the fat away. See what this weight loss mistake is on page 17, and avoid making it at all costs if you want to melt stubborn fat fast. You'll learn all of these tips and more inside the Time Factor Fat Loss Guide. But again, let me repeat because it's important. You don't have to get this guide to see success. Think of it as a complimentary resource. As I mentioned earlier, the only reason I'm gifting this guide as a bonus with the 6-bottle package is because this shows me you're 100% committed, and I want to match your level of commitment. And that's why with the 6-bottle package of Appaway, you'll get the lowest per bottle price, plus free priority shipping, a $12.95 value. And you'll also get the Time Factor Fat Loss Guide at no extra charge, which adds a $97 value on top of everything else you're getting. And since each bottle of Appaway contains a 30-day supply, the 6-bottle package boils down to roughly $1 a day. Take a moment to think of all the daily things you spend more than $1 a day on. That only brings a tiny fraction of the joy Appaway would get you when you start seeing the pounds drop, your waist shrink, and your belly flatten. Wouldn't you agree that investing approximately $1 a day is worth the happiness you'll experience when you shed the stubborn fat, triumph over emotional eating, and finally get the body of your dreams? I'm sure you'd agree. That's why the smart decision here is to take advantage of the 3 or 6-bottle package. And once you've got your own supply of Appaway, you'll finally win the battle against the bulge. Every marker of well-being will improve. You'll have more energy to do the things you love. And you can be a better mother, daughter, or spouse to everyone you care about. And maybe your friends' jaws might drop when they see your amazing body transformation. And you'll know it's all thanks to the wise decision you made to try Appaway today. But make sure to note, You won't find Appaway on Amazon, at retailers, or anywhere else. I've cut out the middleman to keep prices as low as possible for you. So this page is the only place you can order Appaway. And remember, your savings with a multi-bottle package is only available while we have stock. And as soon as supply runs out, my tech team will take down this page immediately to prevent back orders. And as I mentioned earlier, it can take as long as 3 months to get a new batch of Appaway in, so don't want to miss out. So when you're ready, pick the 3 or 6 bottle package now for the best bang for your buck, or whichever package is right for you. You should see 3 options below this video. If you're watching this on your phone, you might have to scroll down a bit. Once you've scrolled down, click the orange Add to Cart button on the package you want. Oh, and I should mention, no matter which package you choose, you're covered by my doctor's 180-day fat loss guarantee. That means I guarantee 3 things once you start taking Appaway. 1. You must triumph over emotional eating. 2. You must start shedding pounds with maximum efficiency. 3. You must feel confident and happy in your new slender body. Unless Appaway fulfills all 3 of these promises, let us know within 180 days and I'll give you a full refund. No questions asked. What's more, it doesn't matter if you've used up all the bottles, and you don't need to send the bottles back either. Email or call our friendly customer service team and we'll give you a full refund. Our customer service is super friendly. They're excited about supporting you, and we're here for your success. And if we're not helping you, then we don't deserve to keep your money. That's our motto. In short, you're not buying anything today. The only decision you're making today is to take Appaway on a test drive for the next 180 days. Now, once you've clicked the Add to Cart button below, here's what'll happen. You'll see a checkout page where you can confirm your order and fill out your details. The secure checkout page will look like this on desktop, and like this on mobile. Make sure to scroll down to see the forms where you can fill out your details. Now, you can call me old-fashioned, but I always get a little worried when I order stuff online. That's why my tech team assures me our checkout page uses the latest secure 256-bit encryption technology, the same kind used by Amazon and Apple. So you can order with peace of mind knowing your details are safe. And once you've completed your order, your package will arrive in 3 to 5 business days. Tear open the box and grab your bottles. You might notice the label says patented hunger control peptide, but don't get confused, that's the fancy scientific name we used for slimming sugar. Okay, so open your bottles of Appaway and take 1 capsule twice daily with your meals. You can take 1 with breakfast and 1 with dinner. Make sure to take it every day. You should start feeling results immediately within a few days. But as I showed you in the clinical study earlier, the biggest and best results come the longer you take it. So my doctor's recommendation is for you to keep taking Appaway twice daily for at least 60 days, and continue for 90 days if you want to ensure your NPY levels stay down and your weight continues to fall off. And unless you love the results you experience with Appaway, contact us within 180 days of your order to get a full refund. Remember, you can use up the bottles and still get every penny back. Meaning, the only decision you're making right now is whether you want to take the 3-bottle or 6-bottle package for the best bang for your buck. And you're getting your supply with 0 risk, because regardless of which package you choose, you're still covered by your 180-day money-back guarantee. So if you're ready, scroll down and click the Add to Cart button below. Now, this video is about to end, and you're at a crossroads. I've shown you all the science. I've shown you why high levels of NPY is the root cause of your emotional eating, why it makes you gain weight, and why it can feel like an impossible task to keep the stubborn fat off. And you've seen the studies that prove the patented pure concentrate of slimming sugar inside Appaway flat out works. But you're still here instead of clicking that Add to Cart button, which means you're not 100% sure yet. So while you're with me, let me tell you a quick story. It's about a woman who's stuck in a flood. She's on her rooftop. She prays for God to save her. A boat comes by and says, "Get in." She says, "No thanks. I prayed to God, he'll save me," she says. "I don't need your boat." The water's now up to her neck. Then a helicopter drops by. They throw down a rope ladder and say, "Get in." She says, "No thanks. You can keep your ladder. I prayed to God, he'll save me." And then the woman drowns. She goes to heaven and is face to face with God Almighty. She says, "God, I don't understand. I prayed to you, I believed in you, and you let me die. Where was your help?" God says, "I sent you a boat and a helicopter. What more can I do?" See, she didn't realize that her Savior was right in front of her all along. And that's you. You're still watching this video instead of taking action. You think your Savior may come from somewhere else, but you're here on this page. You're here for a reason. You've invested a lot of time watching this video. You did that for a reason too. Of course, you could choose to ignore everything you've seen today, and I'd harbor no hard feelings even if you did that. But consider this. If you do nothing today, what will change? You go back to your usual routine. Maybe you try a new diet, but you know it's just a matter of time before cravings and emotional eating gets the best of you. It's happened before, and it'll happen again. And in the past, it wasn't your fault. You didn't know about NPY. but not anymore. Now you know high levels of NPY is to blame, and you know exactly how to fix it. So now it's your responsibility to act. If you don't act today, the next time you go to weigh in at your bathroom scales, you'll get that sinking feeling as you realize it's another failed weight loss attempt, and you'll think back to the opportunity you missed today. And even if you decide to come back to this page to order Appaway, we might have run out of stock by then, because others have already taken the leap and ordered their supply of Appaway. That means you'll be waiting another 3 months. That's 90 days of waiting, instead of experiencing the joy of shedding the pounds today. At that point, wouldn't you think back to this moment and regret not taking action? If the answer is even a maybe, you'd be wise to take the smarter second path and say yes right now. You'll get your own supply of Appaway today with a 180-day money-back guarantee, which means you truly have nothing to lose but everything to gain. And that's by design. Realize, I'm doing everything I can to make this critical first step easy for you. I can make it easy, but I can't take that step for you. Your helicopter's here right now, in front of you, and I want nothing more than to help you get the slender body of your dreams. But you have to take the first step. Get in. Hover your mouse over the order button. Click it, and fill in the information requested on the next page. It'll be the smartest move you make all year. It'll be the way you keep your New Year's resolution this year. No more emotional eating. No more cravings. No more binging, just pure, sweet weight loss. And you don't have to do this alone. I've got your back. After you've completed your order, I'll stay in touch with you every single day via email. I'll be making sure you get all the information, motivation, and support you need to succeed. I wasn't kidding when I said I'd take you under my wing, but you need to take the first step. Move your mouse or scroll down with your phone and click the Add to Cart button. Now's your final chance to take Appaway for a 180-day trial run. And when you order the multi-bottle package, I'll pay for your shipping too. And if you commit 100% to your weight loss journey and get the 6-bottle option, I'll match your dedication and give you my best-selling book, The Time Factor Fat Loss Guide, valued at $97, completely free. Okay, so if you're on mobile, you might need to scroll down to see the Add to Cart button. When you see that orange button, click it, then fill out your details on the next page, and you'll be on your way to getting the body of your dreams. I can't wait to hear your success story with Appaway. I'll see you on the other side. I'm Dr. Ross Gardner, and thanks for watching. God bless. Ah, I see you're still here. That means you've got questions. Let's go through them now. Question 1. Will I keep getting billed over and over again? No, this is a one-time purchase. We will never bill you again. So order with peace of mind. Again, this is a one-time order. Question 2. What is NPY again? And what's it got to do with my weight? NPY is the protein that lives in your brain that's causing emotional eating, cravings, and unwanted weight gain. Scientists from Harvard have discovered that the higher your NPY levels, the harder it is to lose weight. Elevated NPY compels you to eat. It's not about willpower. This is a biological process that compels you to eat. And just like how you can't control shivering or sweating, NPY has biological consequences you can't resist. Namely, it makes you binge and crave foods, especially for carbs like donuts, cakes, pizza, and so on. That's why if you've struggled with emotional eating and weight gain until today, it's not your fault you haven't been able to shed the pounds. And as long as your NPY levels remain high, binge eating will continue to sabotage your weight loss efforts. On the flip side, when you have low levels of NPY, that's a good thing because weight loss becomes fully efficient. In short, we can summarize it like this. High NPY levels are bad because it makes you binge eat and have cravings. Low NPY levels are good. It makes weight loss far more efficient. Question 3. How do I know I have high levels of NPY? You can take this simple quiz to find out. Question 1. Do you get cravings for sugary or fatty foods when you feel stressed? Question 2. Are you currently overweight by more than 15 pounds? Question 3. Have you tried calorie-restricted diets in the past? Question 4. Do your cravings get worse at night? If you answered yes to at least 2 or more of these questions, it's likely your NPY levels are already elevated right now. Question 4. How does Appaway help me lose weight, and what kind of results can I expect? Appaway contains a patented and purified concentrate of a nutrient called slimming sugar. Research has shown that when you take the slimming sugar inside Appaway daily, clinical studies have proven it can reduce appetite, causing you to eat up to 800 calories less. This does not mean you're giving up your favorite foods. Instead, it puts you in control of your eating, not the other way around. Reduce cravings for carbs, causing you to eat less carbs, up to 100 grams less. Reduce NPY levels by 25%. And in one of the studies, women who got slimming sugar reduced their waist circumference by 500% more than the placebo group, and reduced their belly fat by up to 7 inches. To put that into perspective, 6.8 inches is the length of your hand. Place your hand against your belly and imagine it shrinking by that much. And last but not least, effects were seen within 7 days. In short, the pure concentrate of slimming sugar inside Appaway is the most potent fat loss aid you could ask for. Question 5. How do I use Appaway? And how big is each capsule? And how long should I take Appaway for? Each serving of Appaway comes in a small, easy-to-swallow capsule, and each bottle comes with 60 capsules, which is a 30-day supply. Take your Appaway twice a day with meals. For best results, take 1 capsule with breakfast and 1 with dinner. As for how long you should take it for, although clinical studies show that Appaway starts working in 7 days, I highly recommend you take it for at least 60 days, 90 days if you want the best results. Remember, studies show that the longer you take Appaway, the stronger the effects. The top line with the solid black dots represents the placebo group. The line below it with open circles represents the group that got slimming sugar. As you can see on this graph, the longer these women took the slimming sugar inside Appaway, the bigger the difference between their appetite and cravings. So if you're truly serious about getting the best possible weight loss results, I highly recommend you go for the 3 or 6 bottle supply. As the scientific results show, the longer you take it, the better it is for shedding unwanted fat. Question 6. Can I get Appaway on Amazon or at my local store? No, you can only get Appaway on this page. I've purposely avoided the middleman to keep prices as low as possible for you. If we involve retailers or stores like Amazon, they take their cut, which means it raises prices on Appaway, and I don't want that for you. That's why you can only order here. Question 7. How does the guarantee work again? No matter which package you choose, you're always covered by my doctor's 180-day fat loss guarantee. This means I guarantee 3 things once you start taking Appaway. 1. You must triumph over emotional eating. 2. You must start shedding pounds with maximum efficiency. 3. You must feel confident and happy in your new slender body. Unless Appaway fulfills all 3 of these promises, let us know within 180 days and I'll give you a full refund. No questions asked. What's more, it doesn't matter if you've used up all the bottles. And you don't need to send the bottles back either. Just email or call our friendly customer service team and we'll give you a full refund. Our customer service is super friendly. We're here for your success. And if we're not helping you, then we don't deserve to keep your money. That's our motto. In short, you're not buying anything today. The only decision you're making today is to take Appaway on a test drive for the next 180 days. Question 8. Okay, I'm ready to order Appaway. What now? Great! You're about to take the most important step toward finally getting the body of your dreams. But we're at the end of this presentation, so now's your last chance to take Appaway for a trial run for the next 180 days. Remember, you're always covered by my 100% satisfaction guarantee, and when you choose the 3 or 6 bottle package today, that brings the per bottle price to as low as approximately $1 a day. If you agree that investing roughly $1 a day is worth your happiness and a slender, healthy body you love, then scroll down now and pick the 3 or 6 bottle package, or whichever one is right for you. I've done everything I can to make this decision as easy as possible for you, but you've got to take the first step. And even after you order, you won't be alone. I'll stay in touch with you every single day via email, and you'll get the motivation, support, and encouragement you need to succeed. I truly care about seeing you get the body of your dreams, but I can't take that first step for you. So scroll down right now, click the Add to Cart button on the package you want, and fill out your details on the following page. This is important. Until you fill out your full details on this checkout page, we can't ship your supply of Appaway to you. So take action now. It's your last chance to take control of emotional and binge eating, and finally shed the stubborn fat from your belly, thighs, arms, and face. Scroll down and click the Add to Cart button. I can't wait to see you on the other side.